Imagine you're the captain of a ship in the middle of a storm. Giant waves crash around you, the wind threatens to knock you down, and the sky is pitch black. You can't control the wind. You can't calm the sea, but you can adjust the sails, hold your course, and ensure your crew safely reaches their destination. Now, think about your life, your work, the challenges you face every day. Do you feel like that, Captain? Often, we find ourselves in the midst of storms we didn't choose. Tight deadlines, conflicts, pressures, uncertainties. And amid it all, we are expected to make decisions, lead teams, and stay focused. But how do you do this without losing your cool? How do you lead without being swallowed by the waves of chaos? This is where the unshakable leader comes in. An unshakable leader isn't one who ignores emotions or becomes cold and distant. On the contrary, an unshakable leader leads with wisdom, emotional balance, and a focus on what is under their control. They understand that they can't control everything around them, but they can control how they react to each situation. Being unshakable isn't about being indifferent. It's about being resilient in tough times, fair in decision-making, and compassionate towards those around you. It's about finding strength in calmness and clarity in chaos. Have you ever caught yourself reacting impulsively to criticism, or feeling overwhelmed by problems that seem unsolvable? The truth is, we often waste time and energy trying to control the uncontrollable while neglecting what really is in our hands, our actions, our choices, and our mindset. And that's exactly what the unshakable leader does differently. They don't get carried away by circumstances. They act with purpose, even when everything around them seems to be falling apart. Think of Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest examples of unshakable leadership. He ruled an empire amidst wars, crises, and unimaginable challenges. And yet, he maintained his integrity, his clarity, and his compassion. He didn't control everything, but he controlled himself, and that made all the difference. Now I ask you, are you ready to become the captain of your own ship? To lead with wisdom, even when the storms of life try to knock you down? If your answer is yes, then you need this video more than you think. Because from this point on, we're going to dive deep into the principles that turn an ordinary leader into an unshakable leader. We'll explore how you can become someone who not only survives the storms, but learns to navigate through them with mastery. How many times have you felt overwhelmed by problems that seem completely out of your control? An unhappy client, an impossible deadline, a demotivated team. The truth is, as a business owner or entrepreneur, you live in the eye of the storm. Often, it feels like you're battling forces you can't possibly overcome. But what if I told you there's a way to lead that isn't dependent on circumstances, a way to act that keeps you steady even when everything around you seems to be collapsing? Focus on what's under your control. An unshakable leader understands a simple yet powerful truth. You can't control everything. You can't control the economy, your client's mood, your competitors' decisions, or even your team's performance at all times. But you can control what truly matters: your actions, your decisions, and your reactions. Let's do a quick exercise. Think of a recent situation that really got under your skin. Maybe it was negative feedback from a client or a project that didn't go as planned. Now, ask yourself, what in that situation was really under your control? This is where the dichotomy of control comes in, a concept taught by Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers. The idea is simple: divide everything that happens in your life into two categories. On one side, what you can control, your attitudes, your effort, your preparation. On the other, what you can't control, others' opinions, outcomes, the behavior of others. For example, at work, you can't control whether a client will be satisfied, but you can control the quality of your work, how you communicate, and the care you take to deliver the best possible outcome. And here's the secret: when you put all your energy into what's under your control, you become immune to external storms. You stop wearing yourself out over what you can't change and start acting with focus and clarity. Think of an airplane pilot. They can't control the weather, air traffic, or even unexpected turbulence, but they can control how they react to each of these situations. They adjust the route, maintain calm, and ensure everyone arrives safely. As a business owner, you are the pilot of your enterprise, and no matter how turbulent it gets, your focus should always be on what you can do to keep the plane in the air. So, here's the challenge. Today, make your own dichotomy of control list. Separate what's under your control from what isn't. And from now on, channel all your energy into what truly matters. Because an unshakable leader isn't one who doesn't face problems. They're someone who knows exactly where to focus to overcome them. Have you ever faced a tough decision where there seemed to be no right answer? A conflict in your team, a complicated negotiation, or even a choice that could impact the future of your business? In those moments, the pressure is intense, and the temptation to take the easiest path, or the one that benefits only yourself, can be overwhelming. The second characteristic of an unshakable leader: the ability to practice virtue and justice in all their actions. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest leaders in history and a key figure in Stoicism, had a clear rule. Before making any decision, he would ask himself, is this fair? Is this virtuous? Does this benefit everyone? And this simple question can transform the way you lead. Because at the end of the day, an unshakable leader isn't judged solely by the results they achieve, but by how they achieve them. Let's think about a practical example. Imagine you're dealing with a conflict within your team. Two employees disagree, and it's affecting the team's performance. The quickest solution might be to side with the one you think is right, or even to ignore the problem, hoping it resolves itself. But an unshakable leader does it differently. They stop, reflect, and ask themselves, what is fair here? What is virtuous? What benefits not just me, but the whole team? And from that reflection, they act with integrity and compassion, seeking a solution that balances the interests of everyone involved. Think of a judge. They don't make decisions based on what's most convenient or what benefits only one side. They review the facts, consider the impacts, and strive for the fairest decision for all involved. As a leader, you are also a judge. And although the pressures of everyday life may tempt you to take the easier paths, your mission is always to seek what is fair and virtuous. Here's a simple exercise you can start applying today. Before making any decision, whether at work or in your personal life, ask yourself the 3 questions of Marcus Aurelius. First, is this fair? Second, is this virtuous? Third, does this benefit the whole? For example, at home, when resolving family conflicts, seek solutions that are fair for everyone, not just for yourself. At work, when dealing with a difficult client, think about how you can act with integrity, even if it means extra effort. Practicing virtue and justice isn't about being perfect. It's about doing the best you can with the information and resources available to you. It's about leading with integrity, even when no one is watching. And when you adopt this mindset, something incredible happens. The people around you begin to trust you more, respect your decisions, and find inspiration in your leadership. Have you ever been in the middle of an important meeting, everything seems to be going well, and suddenly something goes wrong? A client cancels a contract, a crucial project fails, or a team member makes a serious mistake. In these moments, the pressure is tremendous, and the temptation to panic or lose control can be nearly irresistible. There is a way to handle these situations that not only keeps you calm, but also conveys confidence and security to everyone around you. The third characteristic of an unshakable leader: the ability to maintain calm under pressure. An unshakable leader isn't one who never faces problems. They are someone who, even in the eye of the storm, manages to maintain serenity and act with clarity. And this isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about having a mind prepared to face chaos. Consider the great leaders who, in the face of danger and extreme pressure, kept their cool and led their followers steadfastly. George Washington. During the Revolutionary War, Washington led the Continental Army against the much more powerful British Empire. Even in the face of extreme defeats and hardships, he maintained a calm, strategic posture and never showed despair. His tranquility under pressure inspired his soldiers and was crucial for the independence of the United States. Marcus Luttrell, in Operation Red Wings, wounded and isolated in enemy territory, survived because he kept his cool and used his training to make the best decisions possible. Chesley Sully Sullenberger, the pilot of the Miracle on the Hudson. In 2009, Captain Sully landed a plane on the Hudson River after a bird strike disabled the engines. With hundreds of lives in his hands, he didn't panic, quickly assessed the situation, and executed a perfect emergency landing. His calm voice and demeanor over the radio with air traffic controllers became legendary. James Stockdale, prisoner of war in Vietnam. Admiral Stockdale was captured in Vietnam and spent 7 years in a POW camp, enduring daily torture. He remained calm, organized resistance among the prisoners, and refused to yield to enemy pressure. His resilience made him a hero and an example of leadership under extreme pressure. Theodore Roosevelt, after being shot during a speech. In 1912, Roosevelt was shot in the chest just before a speech. He realized he was not in severe bleeding and continued to speak for over an hour, displaying remarkable calm and emotional control. He only sought medical attention after finishing his speech. These men are not admired because they never felt fear. They are admired because, in moments of extreme crisis, they did not let anxiety overwhelm them. A true leader stands firm because they know their demeanor directly influences those around them. If a leader shows fear, their followers panic. But if they maintain calm, it instills security and makes everyone trust in them. Here comes a powerful Stoic technique called the premeditation of evils, or premeditatio malorum. The idea is simple. Imagine the worst-case scenarios and think about how you would handle each of them. For example, at work, if an important project fails, instead of panicking, you'll already have a plan B in mind. If a crucial client decides to cancel a contract, you'll know how to reallocate resources and seek new opportunities. This practice isn't about being pessimistic, it's about being prepared. And when you prepare for the worst, 2 incredible things happen. First, fear diminishes because you already know you can handle the situation. Second, your confidence increases because you're always one step ahead. Think of an airplane pilot. Before each flight, they go through a checklist, imagining all the possible problems that could occur: turbulence, a technical failure, a route change. And, although these scenarios are daunting, they are prepared for each one. As a leader, you are also the pilot of your business, and, no matter the turbulence, your preparation and calm will ensure that everyone safely reaches their destination. So, here's the challenge. Today, take a few minutes to practice the premeditation of evils. Think about the worst scenarios that could happen in your work or personal life. Then, plan how you would handle each one. Because an unshakable leader isn't one who doesn't face problems. They are always prepared to face them with calm, clarity, and confidence. Have you ever given advice to someone and, when it came time to follow that same advice, realized it wasn't so easy? Or, have you demanded something from your team, knowing deep down that you aren't practicing it yourself? The truth is, as leaders, we often expect the people around us to act in ways that we ourselves are not. And at the end of the day, words have much less impact than actions. The 4th characteristic of an unshakable leader, the ability to lead by example. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said that a leader must be a model of virtue, and that means that, more than talking, an unshakable leader acts. They practice what they preach. They are the first to arrive and the last to leave. They maintain calm in a crisis, and this inspires their team to do the same. Think of a simple example. If you want your team to be punctual, be the first to arrive. If you want your family to be more cohesive, show empathy and availability. Because at the end of the day, people follow much more what you do than what you say. Imagine a soccer coach. He doesn't just sit on the bench shouting instructions, he's out there on the field, showing how it's done. He runs, he gets his shirt dirty, he sets the example. And because of this, the players are inspired by him and give their best. As a leader, you too are a coach, and although words are important, it's your actions that will set the pace for your team. Here's a simple exercise you can start applying today. Identify a quality or behavior you would like to see in your team or family. Now, ask yourself, am I practicing this? And remember, leading by example isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about showing, through your actions, that you are committed to the values you preach. Think about a crisis at work. A leader who maintains calm, acts with clarity, and seeks solutions in a composed manner inspires their team to do the same. Conversely, a leader who panics, blames others, and acts impulsively only increases the chaos. A study from Harvard University revealed that 90% of the most effective leaders have high emotional intelligence, allowing them to make more assertive decisions and inspire confidence in critical moments. Think of the brain as an emotional mirror. When we are near someone, especially a leader or authority figure, our brain tends to copy that person's way of acting and feeling, often without us realizing it. This happens because of mirror neurons, which function like internal sensors, capturing emotions and behaviors from others and reflecting them inside us. Now, imagine a crisis at work is like a fire starting. If the leader is like an experienced firefighter who speaks calmly, acts securely, and directs the team to extinguish the fire, everyone feels more at ease and focused on solving the problem. This is because people's brains are mirroring that demeanor, and thus they also maintain their calm. But if the leader acts like someone who sees smoke and starts running around in panic, screaming, and blaming others, the team will feel the same desperation. The brain interprets this as a real danger signal, releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, and instead of solving the problem, people become anxious, disorganized, and less productive. In other words, a leader doesn't need to say, "Stay calm," for their team to be calm. If they demonstrate control and serenity, others' brains will naturally mimic this behavior, helping everyone think more clearly and act more effectively. What you do in moments of pressure doesn't just define the outcome of the situation, but also the respect and trust people have in you. So, here's the challenge. Today, pick an area of your life, whether at work or at home, where you can start to lead by example. Practice what you preach. Show, through your actions, that you are an unshakable leader. Because at the end of the day, people don't follow what you say. They follow what you do. How often have you caught yourself thinking you had all the answers? That, as the leader, the business owner, the entrepreneur, you needed to show that you were always in control and that you knew exactly what to do? The truth is, often the pressure of being the boss leads us to believe that we can't make mistakes, that we can't show doubt or weakness. But what if I told you it's actually the opposite? That one of the greatest signs of a leader's strength is the ability to acknowledge that they don't know everything and to always be open to learning? This is the fifth characteristic of an unshakable leader, the ability to cultivate humility and continuous learning. An unshakable leader understands that learning never ends. They know that, no matter how much experience they have, there is always something new to discover, a new perspective to consider, a lesson to absorb. And more importantly, they are not afraid to admit that they don't know everything. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest leaders in history, made it a habit to set aside time for daily reflection. In his meditations, he would ask himself, "What have I learned today? What can I improve?" This simple yet powerful practice is one of the secrets to becoming a leader who consistently grows. Here's an exercise you can start applying today. Set aside 10 minutes at the end of your day to reflect. Ask yourself, 1. What have I learned today? 2. What can I improve? 3. How can I apply these lessons tomorrow? Think about a top athlete. Even though they are one of the best in the world, they know they need to train every day, learn new techniques, and adapt to challenges. They don't rest on their laurels. They are always looking to evolve. As a leader, you are also an athlete. And, no matter how much you've already achieved, your growth depends on your ability to keep learning and adapting. And remember, humility isn't about belittling yourself. It's about recognizing that, no matter how much you know, there's always room to grow. Because an unshakable leader isn't one who knows everything. There's someone who's always willing to learn, grow, and evolve. Stoic Journal for Leaders. How many times have you ended your day feeling like you could have done more? Or that, despite running around all day, you didn't manage to tackle everything that needed attention? The truth is, as leaders, we're constantly dealing with an endless list of tasks, decisions, and challenges. And in the midst of all this hustle, we often miss the chance to stop, reflect, and learn from what happened. But what if I told you there's a simple yet powerful tool that can help you become a more aware, better prepared, and above all, more unshakable leader? Let's talk about a practice that can transform the way you lead: the Stoic Journal for Leaders. An unshakable leader doesn't just act, they also reflect. They understand that to grow, it's necessary to look back and learn from every decision, every mistake, every success. And one of the best ways to do this is by keeping a journal. But we're not talking about an ordinary journal where you simply vent or list tasks. We're talking about a Stoic journal, a powerful tool of reflection that will help you become more aware of your actions and better prepared for the challenges to come. Here's how you can start. Set aside 10 minutes at the end of your day to answer 3 simple yet profound questions. 1. What did I do well today? 2. What could I have done better? 3. How can I better serve my team and family tomorrow? These questions will help you identify your strengths, recognize areas for improvement, and, most importantly, keep your focus on what truly matters: serving and leading with purpose. The Stoic Journal is your tool to ensure that you're always evolving, always learning, and always ready for the next challenges. Imagine that at the end of the day, you realize you made an important decision but didn't listen to your team's opinions. In your journal, you might reflect, "What did I do well today? I made a quick decision in a moment of crisis. What could I have done better? I could have listened more to the team before acting. How can I better serve my team tomorrow? I can ensure that in future decisions, everyone feels heard and valued." This reflection not only helps you grow, but also prepares you to act more consciously in the future. Clear and empathetic communication. Have you ever regretted something you said? Or felt that no matter how much you spoke, the message wasn't understood the way you intended? The truth is, as leaders, communication is one of our most powerful tools and also one of the most challenging. Because it's not enough to just speak. You must communicate clearly, honestly, and compassionately. You need to ensure that your words not only convey information, but also inspire, motivate, and connect. An unshakable leader understands that words have power. They can build bridges or create walls. They can motivate a team or demoralize even the most dedicated employees. And for that reason, they are careful with every word they say. But how do you do this in everyday life, especially in moments of pressure or conflict? The answer lies in a simple yet powerful technique taught by Seneca: inner discourse. Before you speak, take a pause and ask yourself, will my words help or harm? This simple question will help you filter what you say, ensuring that your words are always constructive, clear, and compassionate. For example, in a tense meeting, instead of reacting impulsively to criticism, you could stop, breathe, and think, will what I'm about to say help solve the problem or only make things worse? This pause can make all the difference. Think of a doctor. Before giving a diagnosis or prescribing treatment, they carefully consider the impact their words will have on the patient. They know that, more than conveying information, they need to care for the person in front of them. As a leader, you are also a doctor of relationships, and, no matter how great the pressure, your words must always be a remedy, never a poison. Imagine a team member made a significant mistake. Instead of reacting with criticism or judgment, you can use inner discourse to ask yourself, will what I am about to say help this person learn from the mistake or just demotivate them? Based on this reflection, you might choose a more empathetic approach, such as, I understand that a mistake happened. Let's analyze together what went wrong and how we can prevent it from happening again. Clear and empathetic communication isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware. It's about understanding that, as a leader, your words have the power to build or destroy. And with the technique of inner discourse, you can ensure they always build. Delegating with confidence. Have you ever found yourself piling up tasks, trying to do everything alone because you think no one will do it as well as you? Or because you're afraid of losing control over the outcomes? The truth is, as leaders, we often carry an unnecessary burden, thinking we need to be the superheroes of the company. But what if I told you that one of the greatest signs of an unshakable leader is precisely the ability to delegate with confidence? Trusting others' capabilities can not only lighten your load, but also strengthen your team and enhance your business outcomes. An unshakable leader understands that they don't need and should not do everything alone. They know that to grow, it's essential to trust the people around them and allow them to grow as well. But delegating isn't just about passing tasks to others. It's about trusting each person's capabilities, providing guidance when necessary, and at the same time, giving them the space to shine. Practical tip: how to delegate effectively. Here's a simple strategy to start delegating with confidence. 1. Identify each person's skills. Delegate tasks based on what each person does best. If someone is great with numbers, let them handle the spreadsheets. If another has a knack for communication, let them lead client meetings. 2. Be available to guide. Delegating isn't about abandoning. Be there to answer questions, provide feedback, and offer support, but avoid falling into the trap of micromanagement. 3. Trust the process. Remember, even if the outcome isn't exactly as you would have done it, that doesn't mean it's wrong. Allow others to learn and grow from their own experiences. Think of a symphony conductor. They don't play every instrument themselves. Instead, they trust each musician to do their part while they focus on ensuring everyone is in harmony. And in the end, the result is incredible music that was only possible because each person played their role. As a leader, you are also a conductor. And for your orchestra to play in sync, you need to trust your musicians and let them contribute their talents. Delegating with confidence in a major project. Imagine you're leading a major project. Instead of trying to control every detail, you can delegate tasks based on your team's skills. Someone organized can handle the schedule. Someone creative can lead the design part. Someone analytical can manage the numbers. And, instead of overseeing every step, you can focus on ensuring everyone is aligned and the project is on the right track. Delegating with confidence isn't about losing control. It's about gaining time, energy, and the opportunity to focus on what really matters. It's about building a strong team where everyone can contribute their best. Handling criticism and praise. Have you ever been shaken by criticism? Or, on the other hand, inflated by praise? The truth is, as leaders, we are constantly being evaluated, judged, and commented on. And even though we know it's part of the game, it's not always easy to handle it in a balanced way. But is there a way to face both criticism and praise without losing your center? A way to maintain serenity, no matter what others say about you? An unshakable leader handles criticism and praise without being shaken or inflated. An unshakable leader understands that both criticism and praise are reflections of others' perceptions, and they do not define who he truly is. He doesn't get upset by negative comments, nor does he swell with pride over positive ones. He maintains balance because he knows his worth doesn't depend on others' opinions. But how can you do this in practice? How can you not take criticism personally and not get carried away by the vanity of praise? The answer lies in a powerful technique taught by Marcus Aurelius, the view from above. The next time you receive criticism or praise, try this. Imagine seeing the situation from a higher perspective. As if you were looking down from above, from a distant place, where everything seems small and insignificant. For example, if someone criticizes your work, instead of reacting with anger or frustration, take a deep breath and think, will this matter in a year? Does this criticism define who I am, or is it just someone's opinion at a specific moment? The same goes for praise. If someone praises you, instead of swelling up, ask yourself, does this praise change anything about my essence, or is it just fleeting recognition? This technique helps maintain humility and serenity because it allows you to see things from a broader, less personal perspective. Think of an airplane. When you're inside it, everything seems big and important, but as the plane ascends, things get smaller until you can see the whole from a much larger perspective. And from up there, the problems that seemed gigantic become tiny dots on the horizon. As a leader, you too need to ascend occasionally. You need to view criticisms and praises from a broader perspective, where they don't have the power to define or destabilize you. Imagine you've received harsh criticism from a client. Instead of taking it personally, use the view from above to reflect, is this criticism about my work or about the client's expectations? What can I learn from this to improve without letting it affect me emotionally? Similarly, if you receive praise, think, this recognition is gratifying, but it doesn't change who I am. How can I use this as motivation to continue evolving without letting vanity take over? Handling criticism and praise isn't about ignoring what others say. It's about not allowing it to define your worth or disturb your balance. It's about maintaining serenity regardless of the circumstances. Have you ever considered that leading is like tending a garden? You plant seeds, water them carefully, remove the weeds, but at the end of the day, you can't control the weather. You can do everything right, and still, a storm might come and destroy part of your work. But what if I told you that this awareness that not everything is under your control is what makes you an unshakable leader? Imagine you're a gardener. Your mission is to take care of this garden, which represents your team, your business, or even your personal life. Planting seeds. As a leader, you plant seeds of virtues like honesty, resilience, and compassion. These are the foundations of what you want to cultivate. Watering carefully. You nourish these seeds with consistent actions, constructive feedback, and support. It's your daily care that makes the garden grow. Removing weeds. You identify and remove vices such as procrastination, disorganization, or poor communication that can choke the growth of your garden. But here's the crucial point. You cannot control the weather. External factors such as economic crises, market changes, or even internal conflicts are like storms that can hit your garden. And while an ordinary leader despairs in the face of these storms, an unshakable leader understands that their role isn't to control the weather, but to ensure that the garden is strong enough to withstand it. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest leaders in history and a key figure in Stoicism, ruled the Roman Empire during one of its most turbulent periods, facing wars, crises, and unimaginable challenges. Yet, throughout it all, he never lost his composure. He never abandoned his principles. He wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Marcus Aurelius is proof that an unshakable leader is not one who faces no problems. It is one who maintains integrity, serenity, and focus, even when everything around seems to be falling apart. The impact of an unshakable leader. Imagine two leaders. The first reacts impulsively to every problem, despairs in crises, and blames others when things go wrong. The second maintains calm, acts with wisdom and compassion, and inspires their team to do the same. Which of these leaders do you want to be? An unshakable leader is not measured just by the results they achieve, but by the impact they have on the people around them. They not only meet goals and objectives, but also inspire others to be better, more resilient, more compassionate, more focused. Consider the example of Marcus Aurelius. He not only governed an empire amid wars and crises, but also left a legacy of wisdom and integrity that inspires leaders to this day. He showed that it is possible to lead with serenity, even when everything around you seems to be crumbling. And this is the true power of an unshakable leader, the ability to turn challenges into opportunities, crises into learning, and teams into families. So, I ask you, what kind of leader do you want to be? Someone who reacts impulsively, gets carried away by emotions, and blames others when things go wrong? Or someone who acts with wisdom and compassion, maintains focus on what really matters, and inspires others to do the same? The choice is yours, and believe me, this choice will impact not just your business, but also your life and the lives of those who depend on you. So, did you like the techniques we shared today? Are you already thinking about how to apply them in your daily leadership? Know that the true power of these strategies lies precisely in their practice. It's not enough to just watch and agree. You need to get hands-on and start transforming the way you lead. And that's why I have a challenge for you today. Choose one of the techniques we mentioned in the video, Heather. It's the dichotomy of control, premeditation of evils, the Stoic journal, or any other, and start practicing it today. You can apply it at work, at home, or even in your personal life. Then come back here in the comments and tell me about your experience. What did you learn? How has it changed your approach to leadership? Your feedback is incredibly important, not only because it inspires others, but also because it helps us create content that's even more relevant to you. If you're looking to delve deeper into the topic, I have 2 reading suggestions that will change the way you view leadership and life. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. This book is a true manual of practical wisdom, written by one of the greatest leaders in history. Letters to Lucilius by Seneca, a collection filled with timeless advice on how to live with virtue, balance, and purpose. These books are not just readings, they are investments in your evolution as a leader and as a person. So, here's your challenge. Practice one of the techniques, share your experience in the comments, and if possible, dive into the books we suggested. Because an unshakable leader isn't born ready, they are built every day, through small actions and significant learnings. And if you want to continue this journey with us, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming videos. Let's build together a community of leaders who don't just survive crises, but thrive amidst them. See you in the next video.